to log into the live show this morning. A very good welcome to you. It's a bit disorganized. Well, when I say it's a bit disorganized, it's always disorganized. It's a bit more disorganized than normal because I'm flitting between houses, and so my notebook is in the other one. So we're working off a post-it note this morning. That's that's all the notes. That's all the notes we're getting this morning. So we shall see how it goes. I our clapping this week. We'll just go straight to the clapping this week. Our clapping this week is because it finally happened. It happened, gents.
Something
Finally
happened?
happened. It happened.
Finally.
I
I've been waiting for it.
finally.
It
Finally,
rained
it
in
happened.
Scotland? What
It
were you talking
Sunshine
about?
Scotland. Okay, is the restaurant Wagamama's? Is that a universal thing, or is it just a UK thing? Wagamama's. Okay,
Is
it's
that
a kind of
appropriate to say around kids?
This is a family show, Rick. I don't think you definitely don't
So
go eat there.
Wagamama's is a kind of, I don't know, what would it be
You sure you
defined
want to
as?
define it?
Yeah, well, I'm going to try and not get cancelled doing it.
Ooh.
So it's kind of noodles and noodle bar type thing and that kind of stuff. Anyway, finally
What
it
kind of
happened.
noodles? Wait, what kind of noodles? Asian,
I don't know.
Italian?
Asian noodle. So it's things like with tofu and yeah. What I can't even think what I even have from it. It's a kind of like ramen type thing. Yeah, that's
I'm so
the kind of
wondering what
vibe.
this has to do with watches.
That's
You
kind of
have me.
that's the kind of vibe.
The anticipation is so high.
Somebody said, "Hey, dude, cool watch. What's that?" It's only taken 10 years of wearing a Panerai for someone to go, "That's a cool watch. What is it?" So, round of applause to that. Round of applause to that man. For
Round of
supreme
applause
taste.
to
waiter.
Panerai. Someone is looking at a Panerai and doesn't know it. That's how much they've fallen off. That's like they only make 2 watches. You can't recognize one of them.
No, the guy wasn't a watch guy. He just thought that looks cool.
It's
Does
like
that object tell the time, sir?
What is that UFO?
It appears
you're
to
wearing
do
on your
something of the sort.
Your crown's hanging out over there, buddy.
wrist?
Tell me, what do
Is
I
that
do with the 2 big hands?
is that what is that watch broken? What's the thing sticking out the side?
Was it a salesperson?
No, it was a table server. I was waiting to pick up a meal. I also discovered that the word carry out is not universal because I said we're going for a carry out. What do you call food when you go somewhere in America and you order it and then you remove it from the premises to eat it?
I realize our term makes less sense than the European term. The European term is takeaway, which makes more sense. Ours is take out, which
Take out.
actually makes less sense than takeaway.
All right, ours is carry out in Scotland, so we combine the two together.
Can't you just say out?
Out? We're just
Out.
out. Anyway,
Carry me
so-
out and take the food with.
yeah. Anyway, so I round of applause. Come on, I clap the Panerai. Yeah, there we go. Clap the Panerai, man.
You've been noticed, Rick. Acknowledged.
I have. I've been acknowledged.
You're
Woo!
you're
So-
legitimate now.
How far
Another
into the
human being has
history of
noticed your
Italian
wrist.
divers did you get before he said, "Sir, this is a what? Wag your mama? What was that place called?"
Wagamama's.
Yeah, sir, this is a Wagamama's.
no,
I was just being polite.
I embarrassed myself. I didn't go Italian. I didn't go. Okay, guess where I went to? In the
Sylvester
description?
Stallone.
You got it, boyo. Sylvester Stallone. I went made famous by Sylvester Stallone. It was fashionable in the 90s, and here I am in 20 something.
So that's what you
still
said to the
wearing it.
guy?
Yeah, I
Did
know.
you,
it was-
did, did the
I'm
first thing you say
ashamed.
is, do you know that like 30 years ago Stallone was wearing one of these?
Yeah. That's where I went. I was so flummoxed by the notion of somebody observing or watching, going, "Hey, cool watch, dude." I immediately went Sylvester Stallone rather than anywhere else. So
Did you just
we'll
mutter out Stallone? He's like, "Are you Stallone?
see. I am
Sylvester, is that you?"
David, are you there this morning? We have no image of you.
It's like a
We're
seance.
checking in. Yeah, I have him. I have him listed in the appearance, but he doesn't. Oh no, he's coming back. There we go. David is back in the lobby, but no image. So there we go.
You say
Anyway,
his name
so
3 times into the
say his name
webcam and you
3
will summon
times.
him.
Summon David. So that's been my week. How has your respective weeks been, gentlemen? Ariel,
Oh gosh.
anything as
Yes,
good
I
as being
did
observed
things.
for wearing a Panerai?
I don't have a Panerai, so I could never
Don't have a
experience the
Panerai.
incredible pleasure which is to get your Panerai noticed. I will never.
Get your
Maybe in the
Panerais
future. I
out.
don't know. I guess
So
I could still own one.
have you never owned a Panerai? Have you ever had
I've
one on
worn.
long-term loan?
Yeah, no one ever noticed it or cared. I was very
I think
upset.
nobody
Remember
at a
the
place
first
called
time I wore
Wackamas.
one on a bracelet. Even I was like, someone's ought to know. This is like a pound of steel. But no,
Okay,
no one.
what? Okay, Ripley, what watch have you ever been noticed by a random stranger wearing?
It's never the ones that you would think would be noticed. There'll be like a colorful spinnaker or something like that that someone will be like, "Oh, that's an interesting one. Why? It's yellow." It's never the ones you think, and it's never the one where you want to just launch into the full story. Um, G-Shock certainly. I think that's probably like by and large the one because everyone has that touch point in their life. So everyone kind of knows G-Shock as a whole. Then they see an interesting one or like, oh, I didn't know they made that shape, or why does it say Frogman, or it's rainbow colored or something like that. So probably G-Shock, which then you can nerd out and be like, what do you know about samurai armor? Let me tell you, sir.
Has anyone ever been noticed for wearing a Grand Seiko and therefore had to explain anything to do with Mount Iwate? David, Ripley.
I've been on the receiving end of that. A guy was wearing what's the pink? What's the one? The pink one? The cherry blossom.
the
One,
So
cherry
does that mean
blossom
he
related.
offered to explain his Grand Seiko to you?
I
You
was
didn't have to
getting. He was
ask?
in
He's
front
like,
of me, and
do you want to know about my pink trees?
oh, he didn't offer. No, he didn't offer. He was in line to me to get a bagel, and I saw that one. I like that one. If I had to choose one of their 55 seasons, that would be probably on my short list. It looks quite nice. And I said, "Hey, love your Grand Seiko. I couldn't think of like Sakura Fubuki or whatever the name that's associated with." And he starts into it, and I'm like, "Oh, he's been waiting for this." And I let him.
His
I
whole
let him.
life.
I let him finish
He
it.
takes
I
a
didn't want to
deep
cut him
breath. He's
short.
like,
Did he-
and it all
did he get-
started.
Yeah.
Micro
You
artist
know what a
studio.
watch
flash-
master is?
Yeah. He had flashcards, didn't he? He just out his
Oh,
back
jeez.
pocket came the little note card so he could read it off. He'd been carrying them around.
I thought
frayed
about cutting him
edges for
short.
years.
I thought about cutting him short, but this doesn't happen often for him. This was a moment I let him have it. Kind of nodded. I said, "Oh yeah, I'm a big fan of the brand." And
And
I
just
noticed
think I went
someone's
to Sylvester
Nomos. I know
Stallone.
David's was Nomos, and I made the mistake of noticing their Nomos one time, and I had that same thing. And the first thing they said was like, "It's such a good value." I was like, "Oh, here goes."
Did he say Bauhaus? How many times did he say Bauhaus in the conversation?
None. He didn't say Bauhaus at all. But he kept. The gist of it was like this was the first nice watch purchase, and they did apparently a lot of
Aw.
research, and they really wanted to make sure that they were getting like a legit movement, and they were very excited that other
Nice
people were
little
excited
Nomos
about it,
buyer.
and they're like, and it's. I think they made a weird statement like it's no more watch than I need. I was like, what?
Aw,
What?
Oh, that's so nice.
Oh, that's
It was
Cute
not their
Nomos
last watch,
collector.
but it
That's
was
the most communist thing I've heard all week. You know, people used to make
considering you live
Hungary
in
used to
Hungary,
be a
that's saying
country full of
something.
those exact same type of excuses. It's no more
Yeah,
car
so
than I
you
need.
know what I
the
mean.
Trabant. It's made
it's a
of
very
cotton.
particular type of thing. But
Oh, dear.
yeah,
David.
it was. Go, anyways,
David,
yeah.
most random watch conversation you've had with someone who's clearly not a watch guy or girl.
Oh, who's not a watch guy?
Being observed, watch collector observed in public. Here we are. He is a watch collector in his native environment.
Oh, so he is a watch guy.
Well, no, you're the watch guy being observed by the general public.
Yeah, that happens sometimes. I realized over the last few years that whenever I go to these trips, like the one that I'm on now, and there's dinners happening, I remove myself immediately and entirely from watch conversations. I just don't want to talk about watches anymore. I'm ready to talk about whatever else. So it's difficult, but whenever people come up to me or we discuss something, based on your question, what I realized was that I seem to recall a discussion where somebody was wearing something and they had absolutely no idea how expensive or valuable or rare it was.
Uh-huh.
But I will have to dig deeper, to realize, where that happened. Must have been some fun event or something. I don't know.
Good,
It
good.
happens a
I got
lot
to make
with.
an observation. Oh, go ahead, Ripley.
I was gonna
Mhm.
say it happens a lot with vintage Rolex where the money thing comes into it. Guy might be wearing a really interesting old
Yeah.
one. You say nice watch, and they don't really know what it is or what it's worth. And if you have a conversation with them and it comes up, they might be shocked to learn how much it is. They're like, "Really? I bought this for 5 grand way back when." And then the other hand,
Mhm.
you see a guy with a Pepsi, and the first thing he says is like, "I spent 30K on this," and you're like, "That's not what you should have done with $30,000 at that brand." Like, okay, wish I didn't ever have this conversation with you. That told volumes. So it happens
Mm.
probably more with Rolex where that money thing comes up, and it goes to two polar opposite sides really, really quick.
So
Arrow.
I wanted to talk about something. This is sort of, I guess, a good segue into it, and it's some behavior I've noticed with watch groups and clubs. When I mean groups, like there's like WhatsApp groups where there's a bunch
Mhm.
of watch people, or Facebook groups, or social media groups, or clubs. And I've noticed an interesting tendency where they all sort of just devolve into like people just sharing pictures of watches they're wearing, like nothing, no statements around it. And so yes, people who like watches want to talk about their watches, and then eventually they find other folks that like it. But rather than actually end up having deep conversations about it, they're just like, "Here's what I'm wearing. Cool, bro. Awesome. Love it.
Mhm.
I used to have one like that." And the conversations get so inane and superficial so fast. I wonder if there's anything beyond that. Like, I don't want my watch conversations to devolve into like, "Look what I'm wearing. That's it." Have you guys also noticed that's like, if you have too many people who like it in the same room, that's what they end up doing. There's not even an argument anymore. It's just polite validation of like, hey, I know the world doesn't care, but we do. We do. Yeah,
I
wear
I
your
miss
watch.
arguments.
Yeah, like I sometimes I'm in some of these groups and I'll just throw in a comment, be like, "What the hell are you doing wearing that?" And then all these people come to the rescue of the wearer, like, "Don't make fun of his watch. He likes it." Uh, but I
Yes, it's
They are
eh,
they are all wearing a snowflake. I guess.
the most...
That's a good one. But have you guys
dear.
noticed that it just sort of like that's what these groups devolve into? It's just like a bunch of like wrist shots, and you don't know what to do with that. Like, am I supposed to buy those watches too, or
Mhm.
feel bad? Am I supposed to show like what I'm wearing or comment? Like, I don't
Yeah.
understand what I'm supposed to do.
I refuse to join any group that's not prepared to say when somebody posts a watch, no, actually, you know what? I don't like that watch. Where that's seen as being chuck a outable offense. I just don't join the groups because if somebody posts a watch and is all like, yeah, well, it's the best thing ever, and I don't think it is, I feel that it's okay for me to go, actually, I disagree with you. And that's when the row normally starts. So I just
I
don't
love when
bother.
people don't like my watches. I love
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
I
yeah,
just
yeah.
that's like I get excited. Oh my god, debate time.
If you would like to
Yeah.
join, well, if you would like to join the A Blog to Watch weekly WhatsApp group, we do have one. You're going to need to figure out how to convince me to let you join. So maybe email podcasts at A Blog to Watch weekly with your most vitriolic and abusive, maybe not abusive, maybe that's going a bit too far. But anyway, tell us why Ariel's watches are rubbish. And if you make a really good effort at it, then we'll maybe let you in the group. Debate
The
Ariel time.
advertisers aren't gonna like this
Yeah.
one.
Yeah, we don't show them the chat. We will, however, show them this because this is a message directly in from Grand Seiko. We're going to play early. We're going for an early game of guess the price of the Grand Seiko.
There's another
But we're
one.
no, this is the one you emailed. I'm just going to make sure I try and hide all this stuff. But there we go. So this is the Grand Seiko Limited Edition
Oofa.
SLGB005 Iced Forest. I keep on reading this as Violent Dawn, which would actually make it more interesting. But clearly the only reason for looking at that is to figure out why it's the color is. So give us your best explanation before I scroll down and see the reason that Grand Seiko gave for why this watch is a violet color. Yes,
They
Because-
just wanted a purple color.
Well,
It's not-
yes,
not
they wanted
enough.
a purple color and they spun the wheel and it landed on purple that day or however they
Mhm.
choose. But
Mhm.
because there are only 55 seasons surrounding the Micro Artist Studio, they've gone for
Mhm.
times of day, which there are
Mhm.
infinite. So if
Yep.
I'm not mistaken, this is sunrise on the birch trees, whereupon as they would have been blue birch at night or in the evening, they are now getting the pale, warm glow of sunrise diffusing through the blue and off the ice, which gives you a purple birch.
It is the
Is this a
as they,
joke?
in their own words, it is in their own words, it captivates a new dial that expresses the breathtaking moment when dawn breaks over the frost-covered forests of the Shinshu region of central Japan, where all Grand Seiko Spring Drive watches are meticulously crafted.
Grand Seiko should do what
Breathtaking.
Panerai did and create these experiences. If you buy this watch for not 12 grand, but 52 grand, they would take you to whatever region and take you out in the forest and have you like
It'll leave
enjoy
you.
this breathtaking moment with the watch. And then there would be like 15
That's a
dudes or
great-
women or
that is
whatever.
It's
actually
like
a great
bird
idea.
watching, but there's just no animals.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, it's just static. The whole thing.
Jimmy. So
I could see
guess the
that being
price
kind of
then?
a Zen moment. People out there with
Mm.
their,
Yeah.
their Leicas and stuff like that.
Just all
Yeah.
sitting wrapped up warm. Maybe you should have to do it in like your national dress, or you have to turn up. You have to turn up with something appropriate. You can't just turn up with the clothes you decided to wear, to sumo wrestler outfit or something, to
Why
sit
can't you just
in
wear
the
purple?
frost. Just wear
Only
purple.
purple. It's
Only
that's the
purple.
dress code for that. Every single thing has to be purple head to toe.
That's our new watch show. Only purple.
Does Grand Seiko need someone like Murakami? I know that he's with Ublo and stuff like that, but I feel like
Mhm.
Grand Seiko needs a weirder Japanese personality.
I think Grand
like,
Seiko
to
just needs
just-
somebody that doesn't work looking at a view of a forest or a mountain. Just
Like, are they
something
all
else.
in watchmaker prison? Like, that's all they
A
have is a
car-
view out of their cell?
Yeah, a view that looks at like a car factory or an airport or an oil rig or something industrial. Just anything. Shipyard.
Yeah, so they need some other
Mhm.
Japanese sightseer.
Yeah. So guess the price, Ariel. How much are we being asked to pay for this?
Oh my god.
Spring Drive 9R B2. Have a guess in the
Wow.
chat.
Maybe like 12 or 13.
Ripley.
11.3.
And David.
12.5.
And the answer is a limited edition of 1300. 11,100.
Oh.
Limit.
So it's basically almost very similar to the other one that was a completely
Uh-huh.
different kind of watch. And it's like, who is like, you know what? Automatic spring drive, high efficiency, yes. Whatever that was, manually wound, high beat, 5 hertz, something, no. Like,
Hmm.
it's I just want to see their matrix and their like their consumer matrix. Like, this person likes this, but definitely doesn't like this, because why would they want to release 2 similar watches at the same time that would create consumer discomfort? Like, if you just got excited about one, you don't want the next one to be something you also like, because then you'll get upset. So they must think that like categorically different people are into these 2 watches.
I mean, that's their whole catalog. Do a blue one, lighter blue one, now a darker blue one. Now do a blue one that is water inspired instead of nighttime frost inspired. Their whole, like, think about how many different versions of the snowflake there are. There's like the baby flake, then you got the mist flake, then you got some other flake.
Aren't
Cornflake.
there like infinite ones in nature? I mean, come on, they can get away with it forever.
Yeah, this is their whole strategy. Like, the problem with all of their watches is it's like I would own any single one of them. They're all made
Mhm.
very nicely. They're all very pretty. They're all inspired by the same mountain or lake or time of
Mhm.
day or different. They're all so similar that I'd be happy with any of them. I think that's the biggest issue, is like the one I liked before, I like almost as much as the new one, which I'm almost going to like as much as the next one. They're all within the same like out of 10 scale for me as well.
So they
Is
they
there a
have no qualms upsetting consumers. They don't mind that
Hmm.
Rick gets excited about one on Tuesday, puts down a deposit or something, and
Tuesday
then like on
watch.
Friday, another Grand Seiko comes out that he might want a little bit more, and he's like, "Oh, what the hell? Come on! Like, don't excite me so well." Like, that means he's not gonna
Can't,
put money down fast anymore. He's
I
gonna
just
wait. Be
can't
like,
handle the
"Okay,
excitement.
I'll look at the last 6 months worth and then decide which one I like the best." I'm just saying, how does that benefit Grand Seiko?
Is there a color that doesn't appear in nature that Grand Seiko can't possibly produce because they can't be inspired by it?
Oh yeah,
N- I mean, they're coming up with like, why is it bright red? Well, sunset on the mountain. Like they will come up with a way.
I
They will
believe
find a
there's
way.
over 16 million colors in Japan alone. Yeah.
Okay.
Sounds very
Well,
scientific.
Which is only 3 more than the number of seasons collections models there are.
okay, so let's go from that problematic child of we can only be inspired by one thing and everything is a variety to another brand that perhaps suffers a similar type of a problem. Ripley, this is your review of the Doxa sub some numbers dive watch. In this case, it's the 750T. Does Doxa suffer from the same problem as Grand Seiko?
No, Grand Seiko is making a million different flavors of the same dish of ice cream, and Doxa is making the same flavors, the same like 8 flavors, but in like every different type of bread. You know, it's all bread, but it's like you might not want some for sandwiches or some for other uses, but each one kind of appeals to its own person in the same way that you would want a croissant or a bagel for a breakfast sandwich and probably not with your dinner. That's kind of what they have here. Giant wrist person doesn't want the tiny watch. Tiny wrist person doesn't want the giant watch. Vintage looking person doesn't want the modern one, and etc. So they kind of have the same thing now for everyone. This is basically what Ariel's saying, where it's like all of this except this, they have found an answer for, I think, every possible permutation to that. You want it bigger, you want it thinner, you want it GMT, you want a different color, you want it carbon, but it's all kind of the exact same watch. So this is the 750T, which is now back, and I guess you could call this like a Gen 2. It's the largest Doxa, technically speaking. The 1500T still exists. It's the same footprint, but it's way thicker, like twice the depth rating, hence the difference in number. It's got a helium escape valve. This is really thin. It's 45 millimeters in diameter, but it's thinner than any like the 300 standard 300 or 300T. So it's a very wide, flat watch. But now this kind of satisfies all of the people who wanted a larger Doxa but didn't want a total tuna can like the 1500T. So in my opinion, it's a pretty worthy successor to the original 750T. It's just a more refined version of it.
I liked wearing them.
Yeah. So who is this for?
The big wrist person who wanted the bigger version of a Dox, like the classic Doxa, but didn't want just the absolute chunk that comes with a 1500 meter depth rating. So same blueprint as the 1500T as far as like 45 mil, but it's way, way, way thicker. It's like 12 millimeters thick or something like that, maybe 11.9 or something like that. It's a very, very flat watch. I've never wanted a bigger Doxa in my life. My wrists are like 6.5, 6 3/4. But this wore surprisingly well for its size. It's just due to the flatness. It doesn't feel like a big, big chunky watch. It's just a large watch.
So this is the Doxa website. Yeah.
Oh no, don't do this. We're gonna
These
be
are
here
all
all
the
night if you
same.
have to go.
View
Because they
all.
separate the different models on whether or not it comes with a strap or a bracelet. So it's like 2 times everything with there's like 8 colors. Oh.
Yeah. I mean, how does one manage in the Doxa factory to control all these SKUs? It's ridiculous. And you can personalize them. And this is just the 750s. This is just the new one. There's about a gazillion SKUs on it. Let's look at the
That's almost all
collections.
of the 750s. The 750T, this new generation of it, actually debuted in the form of a Clive Cussler limited edition, I think, to celebrate what would have been his 93rd birthday and the 20th anniversary of the film Sahara, in which Matthew McConaughey wore or or a Doxa, an orange Doxa. So they made that one, and that's kind of how they
Oh,
teased
what
out
things
this.
to celebrate.
Oh yes, double anniversary there. So I guess they did that one, which ushered in the new K shape, and now it's a standard production model.
Hmm. Okay, so have you owned the docs? I'm curious about someone who's gone in, looked at all the doxes, and gone, "Yeah, that's the one I want." Because I've gone and looked at doxes. I like, other than the 200s, I think they're all really nice. But then you start putting them on, you go, it's just like, how do I choose between the orange and the yellow one, between the slightly bigger one and the slightly smaller one? It's just
Here's the answer.
baffling.
You're
Mhm.
supposed to
One of
mix and
each.
match. So get
Mhm.
get like every color, but not in every size. So like the small one you have in this color, the bigger one in
Mhm.
that way. Eventually, what do they have, like 10 different colors? You're gonna have at least 10 different versions of the watch you like, right? But they don't all have to be the same color. Uh, Look, I agree it's a bit weird, but they have you in mind, Rick. They're trying to
Yeah.
tempt you away from your Panerai. Can't you feel the
See,
temptation?
I look at the docs and I'll show that I really like the silver one. I'm not sure what it's called.
Sea Rambler.
They'll have the Sea Rambler. I really like the Sea Rambler. I think it's very cool looking. But then I look at the Sea Rambler and go, but yeah, the orange one's the one you're supposed to have though, because that's the real docs card. But then you've got the yellow one, and I quite like yellow. So I then just go, well, I'm not just going to buy any of them because I just can't make my mind up. I'm not owning 3 doxes. I literally own one decent watch as it is. I'm not suddenly about to own 3 doxes as part of that. So I just don't buy any of them. I don't get it. I think, yeah, just stop it. Just
So
stop
if they
producing
had
so
one
much.
color, you'd buy one? I mean, I don't know if that's so convincing.
It's Panerai, man. It comes in black.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. This is exactly what
Exactly.
he wants.
If
Yeah.
you know what, I think that's actually true. I think, see, if Doxa only produced the orange one, I probably would buy one. I'd certainly find it more likely that I'd go in and go, yeah, I really like that. That's cool, and not then be pulled away to go, oh, actually, the silver one's really very wearable as well. And green, who doesn't like green? And blue, Tiffany blue is all the rage right now. Yeah, I'm a
You
bearer
need
of
the
small
silver
brain.
one.
It's too
Let's
difficult.
get
I need
you
the
the
silver one.
silver one.
Get the
The
silver one.
I mean,
750T is the way to
now,
go.
let me understand this. If somebody wants to buy me the silver one, I'm quite happy. So long as I don't need to make the decision myself. If somebody else makes the decision for me, then that's fine. Maybe at the end of this process, maybe what I should do is I should put up not a ransom. What would the opposite of a ransom be? I'll put £5,000 into an account and you all get to vote on how it's spent so that I don't need to make the decision and you can decide which watch it gets spent on. How about that for a strategy?
You will get something. You will.
Yes, so long as I don't get this next watch that we're going to talk about.
Uh-oh.
No, I better not. I better not leave the studio. That would be bad. Clicking on the link. Although this might make me the new release, the Tudor 1926 Luna. Just when you thought it was safe, Tudor go and do this, and goodness knows why. Anyone got any good reason for Tudor to suddenly burst
Yes.
into the
Yeah.
moon phase? Go on then.
It is
Are-
a optimistic sign that they are encouraged and enthused about the Asian watch market. It's finally a
Ah.
good sign that there's a recovery.
Right. Okay. So this
That's
is
where
all
these are
about
sold. They've
that's
literally
that,
made it clear that's where they want to sell these.
but is that not where the was it the Tudor
All the other
Royale? Is
ugly
that-
Tudors are intended
Yeah,
for.
that-
Yes.
Yeah. So give me the lowdown on why Tudor treats the Asian market differently than everywhere else, or considers.
Oh, I don't
that
know.
the
I don't know
taste is so
why.
different.
They Tudor. Look, we love Tudor, but here's the thing: in the U.S., they don't want to admit that they're a tool watch brand, and
Mhm.
in Asia, they don't want to admit that they were like a budget Rolex brand.
Right.
So
okay.
they've done a bunch of things to try to finagle out of that, but they haven't managed to. So
Mhm.
in the US, they desperately don't want to look like tool watches, even though they are. And in Asia, they desperately don't want to look like baby Rolexes. So
Okay.
even though there has been a Rolex moon phase the last couple of years, and
Mhm.
then Tudor could do one, that's why this happens. Look, I don't think these are particularly attractive, but again, I look at it, I'm like,
It's
that's
horrible.
totally not designed for me.
Mm. Is it? I've not seen any size. Is it controlled by a pusher? How's the moon phase controlled? Because
Nobody
there's no
knows.
clue. Nobody knows.
Not,
Magnets.
not at all.
It's not controlled at
Inoperable.
all. It just floats. It just rotates randomly.
It's a second
'cause-
hand.
Yeah.
Another one.
2,800 USD. Yeah, I mean, no, thank you, not for me. But as Ariel points out, not really built for me. It just seems really
I
strange.
mean, again, it's an aggressively low price for.
Oh, you've muted yourself somehow.
Sorry, it's
we go. You're back.
it's a
Mhm.
petite complication from Tudor. I don't know exactly what the movement is. They say it's in house.
Yeah. In whose house?
Well, okay. Well, I mean, they have
Longines.
their manufacturer, Kinesi. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah,
that's their
yeah,
place.
Yeah.
But what's interesting is that they're sort of throwing in the towel on the more expensive watches, and they're admitting, yeah, people don't want, $5,000 everyday watches. So for them, I think this is, a good price level. I do love a lot of Tudors, but I have seen some
Mhm.
terrible Tudor dress watches in the past, like the not so, not so recent, well, not the long term past. So again, I'm holding my opinion for seeing one of these in person, but I'm encouraged that they think there's going to be a mainstream market in Asia. Like that's good news.
Do you think you will ever see one of these in person? Will you have a Wagamama moment like me?
I
Asia,
don't think I'll
maybe.
see it at a
How
chain
much
restaurant.
Yoshinoya.
how much of the Watches and Wonders Tudor booth will be dedicated to this watch?
Very little, because they're gonna have new stuff by then. I
Hmm.
I kind of like the 1926 as a collection, but I kind of liked it more in the more rugged time and date executions of it. It sort of seemed kind of like the classic pre Oyster everything era of Rolex, where it was just kind of like, yeah, it was just an Oyster date or something like that. Had an interesting dial back in 5500 Air King era. I didn't think it needed to be dressier. They have other dressier lines which aren't very exciting that they could have made a little bit more exciting by doing something with it, like a moon phase. I kind of liked that the 1926 was like a dressier version of like the Black Bay 2036, where if the Black Bay's the Explorer, this was kind of more of it would still had 100 meters, screw down crown, but I kind of liked it with like a black dial or that white dial with the blue markers better than the dressier ones. I don't think it needed to go two-tone or the diamond set or a moon phase or anything like that. But I'm curious to see these in person. I think the color palettes aren't bad at all. The blue one looks quite nice.
Okay, we'll leave it there. There's quite a lot of chat in the article, so go and check out the
People
article
love it.
this
Spoiler.
week. Yeah, a spoiler alert. A spoiler alert. Cool. Right, it's time to play What You Like, which I'm eventually going to try and figure out how to pronounce so that it sounds like a pun on it. Last
I don't
week
know what this game is.
we chose hot sauces. Remember the hot sauce conversation?
Oh, that's what this
Schratzer.
game is. It's
That's
called
what this game is.
Watch.
Now, I've not got my notebook, so before everybody else joined in, myself and Ripley tried to remember as to what was. So we had Schratzer, which you're all going to teach me how to say properly. Then we had Cholula, and we couldn't remember the third one, so we found an alternative while I was Googling Schratzer and Cholula hot sauce. So first up is for you to teach me how to say, is it sriracha? I did a survey and
Yeah.
everybody in Scotland adds an H.
And
I have a
T
harder
at
one
the
for you to
end.
pronounce.
Sorry?
There's an even harder one for you to pronounce.
All right, go on then.
I don't know if it's just Israel, but they have a hot sauce they call schug.
Schrug?
Schug.
I'm not
Okay.
going to ask for that on the side.
How would you start spitting in the microphone? Would you like
It's an
to send
S.
me a link?
It's another S.
How does one type that into Google?
Huh.
How would it be pronounced? Or send me a link. In the meantime, here is
There'd be an S, a K, maybe a CH.
Right. Well, here is
Maybe an umlaut in there.
Shrat. So tell me how
Why
you
is that
get
so hard for you?
Sriracha. What do you do with that
Sriracha.
second? What do you do with the first R?
Basically, don't pronounce it.
So just sir,
It's
as in
sriracha.
city. Sriracha. So you're mispronouncing it. You've got to pronounce the R, surely.
I don't think you
You
do.
pronounce the second
It's
R.
more
you
like a
pronounce the first one.
sure.
Sure.
Sriracha.
Sriracha. Okay, we'll go with that.
But you get
right.
like a sriracha. You take it Italian when you say
Yeah,
it.
you make it all weird.
Sriracha. Okay. Right. Well, let's make it weird by deciding which watch or brand or individual model is most like Sriracha. Should just be something unpronounceable.
It's Seiko.
to-
It's definitely Seiko. Asian by
Okay.
origin, appropriated by largely everyone, and then
Okay.
now most frequently advocated by white users. I would say like this is pretty much this is like Seiko.
Let's
Seiko,
not forget a
Aspen
lot
Bud.
of Casios are made in Thailand, though a lot of sriracha is made out of Thailand.
Apparently, where the factory is, like all the chili
I-
processing, like it burns the neighbor's eyes, like it's kind
Oh,
of
in
noxious.
Irwindale,
Yeah.
Yes.
There was a long legal thing surrounding
we had
it.
some pollution, chili pollution. And
Is
this-
it made
yeah.
in Thailand?
It's made
Not-
everywhere. There's no point. It's
I
easy
thought-
to
I
make,
thought that-
so it's like Coca-Cola.
I have
we'll
a
make it
vague
local.
memory. It must be that one of these sauces is made in America and it could only be made. I thought it was Sriracha, but it's obviously not if they're calling it Thai. I thought
I mean, they had a lot of it in Thailand.
Thai
Uh,
Dragon. I
Thai
think it was created by a guy who thought there wasn't a hot sauce like worthy of his pho, and then he made this, and the rest is history.
well, here we go. Here is
Thai
the
Dragon.
Here is the actual website for Sriracha.
The Thai
Good name.
Dragon
I
is a
wouldn't-
new addition. I don't.
Well,
yeah,
you
the-
know
there
that
we go.
Undone did a sriracha watch, right? You know that.
Did they?
There actually
Oh, no, I
has
did
been a
not.
sriracha
Alright, okay.
watch.
So Undone.
It's actually not bad.
Sriracha. I don't know if that's how you type it. Okay, I'm getting a Google whack for that. The internet is refusing to marry that together. Let me see if I've spelled it. I don't know, I misspelled it slightly. Undone. Oh, there we go. Undone. Oh, watch marketplace. I'm not seeing anything other than here. Let's see the Undone Sriracha. Oh, wait, go away.
Well, here's a fun fact. I'm on their
There we go.
Wikipedia. It was first produced in 1932 by a native of Sriracha, S-I space
The
R-A-C-H-A,
nutrition
a
facts are
town,
out there.
a town and district of Thailand, though it may not have been
Okay.
based on older Cantonese recipes. So
Uh-huh.
maybe the Sriracha is the correct pronunciation. It's a play on the town from Thailand where the creator was from.
So are we saying that I'm pronouncing it correctly?
No,
No,
in
right,
no
okay.
circumstances are you ever going to be pronouncing this correctly.
Okay, so we're saying Seiko is the what you like for Sriracha sauce.
Yeah, and it's
Okay.
people like it's not to the point where it's like the people who choose this over a different one are going for something specific, something distinctly Asian, where
Mhm.
and also it's not like at least it's super common, but it's not necessarily the most obvious choice in the
Mm.
same way like Tabasco or Tapatio is. At least out
Okay,
here.
so the next up, which I'd never heard of, was this Cholula.
We
Yeah,
come up
there
with a
go.
sriracha watch. Was it the sriracha Seiko? I don't.
I'm saying
Well, I
Seiko
think-
as a whole
Yeah,
as a
I
brand.
think Seiko. I mean, I can leave the topic open, Ariel. We've got an Undone.
I'm not
Do you have
gonna-
another
I'm-
nomination.
While I consume a probably unhealthy amount of the sauce, I don't need to continue discussing it.
Okay, fair enough. So next up, Cholula. How is Cholula different from Sriracha? Other than it's slightly easier for me to pronounce.
It's not even remotely similar.
Yeah, one's Mexican, one's Asian.
Is it?
Well, I mean,
it's,
there's that.
is it hotter? Is it taste
it's-
different or is it just heat?
It tastes different. It's got a different consistency. It's got different main ingredients. It's totally different.
It's more
So-
liquidy than Sriracha, where Sriracha is almost like a kind of
What's
paste.
a
This-
liquidier watch?
So more fluid than a Seiko. A
more
liquidy
fluid.
watch.
I mean, I don't know. You can't
watch.
say Bomberg for every like.
Maybe like
Mexi-
Chrono Swiss.
Chrono Swiss. I mean, it
Ooh,
has got that
spicy.
funny lid on it. That's kind of like
It's
the
the
Chrono
same
Swiss
crown, right? That
Same
lid is the
crown.
crown. Yeah.
Okay, I'm okay with Chrono Swiss for the mother of sauce, but it's also called the mother of sauce. What's the mother of watch?
There's
Breguet?
not a lot of moms in this industry.
No. The mother of all watches is this similar to, is there any Breguet about this? I don't know. So
Like,
Chrono Swiss.
you mean like the
happy
Queen of
with.
Naples? But that's got a
Queen of
different shape.
Naples.
It's not red.
Okay. Ripley, you're looking quizzical.
I feel like Chrono Swiss is a little bit more off the beaten path, but again, Jola's not the standard hot sauce you see out here. If it's gonna be like a Mexican style, it's gonna be Tapatio like 85% of the time. I'm gonna go ahead and say Chrono Swiss just on the nature of the crown and the top.
Well, they have this phrase, generations of authentic flavor. Which watch brand uses the word generations too much? Generations.
All
That
the
feels
Swiss
like
ones.
feels
Most
like
of
a
them?
particularly Swiss. Been doing this for Vacheron Constantin. Generations of watchmakers.
They have the
Is this a
patrimony, and this is the mother of hot sauce.
exactly? There we go. Vacheron Constantin is the brand for Cholula. Fight me.
I just know that Vacheron Cholula sounds right.
That's the name of some actor who's married to some musician.
Well, you know, there's like Along and
first child
Zone.
is called
What's German for daughter? It could be like Cholula and
Vacheron
daughter.
Cholula.
Cholula and daughter.
Cholula and daughter. Somebody needs to name their kid Vacheron Cholula.
Look,
That's
there's a
great
lady on the
name.
label. This is clearly a woman-owned brand. Okay.
Okay, which women-owned brands are there? I mean,
Abington.
AP's okay, so
There's Fiona
Vacheron
Kruger, I
Cholula.
guess.
The Fiona Kruger of hot sauces. The thing is, she's Scottish.
Don't throw her into this. She's like, "What are you doing?"
Don't talk to me about this. Okay. It's, Breaking New Beats is suggesting IWC. It's nice, but still common enough to find in the world. Plus, the cap on these are nice to interact with, similar to IWC pilot crowns. Yeah, I'm okay with that.
I like that. I like that because you do see it out in the about. And in the same way, when I see someone wearing an IWC, it's like, oh, good on you for not just like choosing a Rolex or something.
Mhm.
And in the same way, when I see a restaurant has this instead of Tapatio, I kind of give them the nod, like, yeah, that's what's up.
Yeah, you know what you're doing. Yeah.
Oh, this game.
You get the two fingers of it. Right. Remember, you can tune in to the live recording of this show on a Tuesday morning around about 7:30 UK time. If you want to take part in the chat, you can also
In the future, they'll be like, remember when a blog to watch ran out of topics and started comparing watches to hot sauce?
Listen, I think that this is a good take on all of those other shows that just compare watches to cars that people think everything's just compared to Porsches.
It's
and
slightly
Mercedes.
better than like just showing a watch and be like, oh, what do you think? You like my watch? Wrist shot? Wrist roll?
Well, just you wait till the next sauce. All I'm
Custom
saying
strap. I replaced the
you
strap.
You thought we couldn't go anywhere with this topic. While we were searching, myself and Ripley,
It's not
I'm
going to
blaming
get
you,
better,
Ripley.
Ariel. Just buckle
not
in.
just buckle in. Fasten your seatbelts for this sauce. This is Professor. This is real. I think Professor Fard Pounder's colon cleaner sauce. So which
I got
sauce...
it, Urban Jurgensen.
Okay, I'm now going to Google this actual sauce and see if it is real rather than just not okay.
We know there's a whole thing of novelty hot sauce. We know this.
Yeah. I'm sharing the full screen for.
I don't think your colon will be cleansed. I think it's false advertising.
We have colon
opposite
cleaner.
of
We
cleanse.
have sphincter shrinker, flamming flatulence.
Okay,
Clearly,
this
Professor
is just somebody
Payne...
had fun with the names. It's all the same stuff. Looks like salad dressing.
Yeah, there's a hot sauce emporium, hot heads. There we go. From Barbados. There we have it. So, colon cleaner. Which watch brand other than Urban Jurgensen makes you think colon cleaner? Is it a cleansing thing? Like, should we be thinking this is a good thing? It's good to have your colon. I mean, it's a very. You guys are from California. That's a very California thing. Going getting cleansings.
Oh, you think so? Yeah, we talk.
Well, I
all
don't
about
know.
that
It's
all
not in
day.
Scotland.
But that's what you talk about when you talk about California, which is funny.
Yes. When we talk about California, we talk about lovely place to live, but earthquakes. And,
Why not the Professor of Pain's finest Bajan style elixir? What exactly is Bajan?
Professor
Bajan?
Bajan. This is as I think is Bajan not sauce from Barbados, as opposed to Cajun,
maybe.
which
I've
is
just
sauce
never
from the
heard
Caribbean.
a describer of something from Barbados as
Let's
being other than
let's see if
barbaric. I don't
let's see Bajan. Let's Google Bajan and see where that takes us. Sasha Bajan. I don't know who that is.
That's Borat.
Yeah, Bajan.
know. I like that he's friendly, but his head's on fire.
Yeah.
Well,
Anyway,
I'm clearly dangerous. Shake my hand. No, that's not a trick.
Chives in the chat. He's suggesting Ublo as the cleansing elixir. Or
You can't drink an Ublo. You know that.
yeah. Okay. So colon cleaner.
Except
give us
that new
a-
one coming out does look like it was designed to be swallowed.
Okay.
or it looks like it came out, and I don't think this is Ublo. Ublo makes serious watches alongside the meme watches. They do it all. This is what is like only a meme watch brand. Like, I don't think there was a single hot sauce from Professor Fart Punder's. Well, that should say it all right there. Yeah, I don't think this is a very serious brand. What watch brand just makes like joke watches?
Does this website have like legitimate, like, you know they have like the artisan beers and stuff like that? Are there the artisan hot sauces? Because clearly this
Yeah,
is
there we
just a
go.
joke.
So shop. Let's just focus. We're on hot-heads.com.
Okay. If
Alice
there's a
Cooper,
celebrity
no
in
more
there,
Mr. Nice Guy.
no.
Yeah, Alice Cooper, hot sauce.
Angry Goat. Now that has potential.
Angry Goat Pepper from Phoenix.
Blair's
There we go.
After Death sauce.
Yeah, there is tequila sauce. Who knew? There's 28 pages of that. Okay, let's focus this on a different. Whose website
You're on the wrong website.
has 28 pages of SKUs? We're back to Seiko again, surely. This
No, we're
is
at
Haven't you
Omega.
been to
all
these
hot
stores?
sauces.
They have hundreds of
ne-
things and probably like 10
No.
formulas.
This is Scotland. We
No,
don't
is this
have.
is this a hot sauce vendor site? This isn't all from Mr. Fart Punder, right? This
No,
was the-
this is just a general hot sauce.
Oh, the
can't
Dave's
find-
Ultimate Insanity one's pretty good. I've had a lot of these actually. The one on the
Fat
bottom.
Cat
more.
Hissy Fit
No,
Carolina.
I don't know
Reaper.
anything about that. No stars.
No stars. Let's give us a star. Oh, is there a chat? A live chat would be fun.
Ginger Goat.
Ginger
I don't know about
Goat.
that. I'd like
Yeah,
the Angry Goat, the Ginger Goat.
Yeah.
I want to know how many of these things have the word death in it, or doom,
quite a lot of them by the looks of it.
or devil, or something like that.
Yeah,
It is
yeah.
hellfire. It's a bit redundant.
I can't seem to find a Professor Fart Pounder's actual website. He doesn't seem to sell his own goods on his own website. But
Where do you
there
think
are
he went to school? That's what I want to know.
Not round here. Right. So what we reckoning? What's the best cleanser of a watch? Which watch you put when? Okay, here we go. When you've been to a big watch exhibition, big watch show, and you've tried on hundreds of things and written thousands of words, which watch is it that settles you back into your vibe, that cleanses you of all those things you've worn, that you just go, right, my brain is filled, my brain is mush with all these new releases. I'm just going to put on the ...
Well, for me, that's the Apple Watch, but the
There you
Apple
go.
Watch is the one used by everybody. If everybody was using Professor Fart Punder's colon explosion or whatever, this
True.
would be a very messy world. Like, I feel like
Mhm.
that isn't necessarily the best way to arrive at the answer
Mm,
here.
okay, fair enough. Ariel, what's your ... watch?
I
Once
mean,
you've been all
honestly, I
watched
hate to
out.
be boring. It's probably just some type of digital Casio. Just sort of like back to the basics,
G-Shock.
simple, reliable. Like, I don't have to look at it and be like, what does that hand do? I don't understand that. Like, it's idiot proof for the most part. I I have one
Okay.
on my desk, a new one.
Tell us about it.
It's that MRG one that has the pounded metal links.
Oh, right, okay.
So it's I guess not actually the one that you would just
Well,
relax with. This is the
pounded
more expensive
Professor
one.
Fart Pounders. There we go. It's the
Okay,
MRG
all right.
G-Shock. It's a Professor Fart Pounders colon cleaner is a $5,000 G-Shock. That's what it is. It's
You've just made a lot of
cleanses
Casio engineers very proud. Very, very proud.
cleanses the system, but at the same time, it's going to cost you $5,000. So you're gonna pay the price eventually. That's it. That's what this is. It cleanses the system, but boy, are you going to pay the price for doing it.
How much is this hot sauce? Is it expensive or not? Because if it's not expensive, I was gonna
$11.
say,
I don't think so.
is that expensive for hot sauce
I
in
don't
Scotland?
think so. Most again, and I say I can't stress this much. We don't use hot sauce in Scotland.
What is a luxury hot sauce? Do they have that? Is this
Well,
a thing?
I'm just googling most expensive hot sauce.
What's the
Well, I was-
Richard meal of hot sauce?
I was trying to think, is this
here we
like a
go.
high-end independent meme watch brand, or is this more like a Mr. Jones style meme watch brand where it's affordable fun? Like, is this Dr. Fart Punder a lot of money to spend within the context of hot sauces?
Well, I
the
know
most
you wrote
expensive hot sauces
Well,
ever made.
I think you and whoever wrote this need to do a collab. You did the most expensive watches ever made books, did you not?
The most expensive watch is covered with the most expensive hot sauce.
Exactly. I think there's a YouTube channel just
yeah.
and some chicken wings. That and some chicken wings. And that's it sorted. The guy who does that hot wings thing can take a run and jump.
You think
Really
that's like weird
expensive
ASMR? I just have a close up of a watch and I just drizzle hot sauce on it. Just
Richard Mille with
Yeah, I
do it
bet
for
you.
a few minutes.
Like, as ashamed as I'm to admit this, I bet that would be wildly successful. Like, people watch people cut paper or like clean dishes, all sorts of stuff, like sharpen knives.
yeah.
Hot sauce
So
on a watch is
the
at least.
Blair's 2006 Firecracker 500 $9,000.
This
hot
is a Jacob
sauce.
and Co. type of thing. They're just going
Yeah,
for.
feels that way.
I think it goes all the way down to $500. That's a
Yeah,
big
it goes to
delta.
9,000.
That's a big delta.
Swamp Dragon. For
What?
500.
Who would ever drink a rum that was called Swamp Dragon? I guess actually, I do know.
It would appear that Blair's is the guy who makes the expensive hot sauces. So never heard of him.
A lot of them.
Yeah.
Star
Blair-
Wars one?
Blair is
Turns-
Jacob. That
Mhm.
that within the hot sauce world, that's been established. Like,
Yeah.
here's
yeah.
a $31 million watch. Here's your $10,000 hot sauce. Now just
Why
go
has he
get the
not had a watch
whiskey.
collab? Norcane's got to get all over that.
Listen, I think it's the watch collab waiting to happen. Right. Okay. So did we decide in the end who
The spiciest watch case ever.
Yeah, the spiciest watch hot sauce, most expensive hot sauce ever made. The saucedapp.com is where you need to go for that. Anyway, that's quite enough of that. Right, next week we need a category. Feel free to suggest one in the chat for those that are in. Other than that, categories for next week's What You Like. Although I might not be here next week as a news flash, so you might be doing this all by yourselves. Or
We'll
ignore
save
to
it
the
for
week
you.
after.
We will save it.
Okay.
This
can't
can't
do
happen
this
without
game
you, Rick.
justice.
This is
Yeah.
So the what you like category for next week, I'm thinking done a defunct car brands.
We do this to
sportscasting,
entertain
weird
you, Rick.
Hungarians. Golf. Golf is a thing at the moment. Congratulations, Europe. Nailak USA. Serves you right for taking all the money. Give us a category? Fast food spots. Oh, being suggested. Fast food outlets. Yes, okay, I like that. In America, you have lots of really random fast food outlets.
we just have
and
lots
brands.
of
You just have
lots
lots.
of them. Yeah.
Give us your top 3 random fast foods. The ones I've heard of and been to. So I've heard of In-N-Out Burger, which is supposed to be really good, but I don't know. So In-N-Out Burger.
Probably one of the better ones. It's quasi-regional.
Okay, and then Chick-fil-A I've heard of. That's
Very
for
religious.
Why do
Just-
we think everything has a wristwatch analog, by the way?
the
Because
watch
we will
brand
make it
is
fit. I
clo-
think
we
that's
will
where
make
it's
it
arriving,
fit.
unfortunately.
So
I'm
the
doing
watch
this
brand
with a
that's
bit of
closing on a
protest,
Sunday.
okay?
And then, right, name me a fast food takeaway outlet in the States I wouldn't have heard of.
Specifically
that's
American, because
nationwide.
we have
Yes.
Jollibee, but that's not American.
I've never heard of it, but that'll
It's
do. if
chicken
it's-
and spaghetti, and it is Filipino, I believe.
Okay,
That's what
I'm
they
happy
serve
to go.
there.
I'm happy to go with that. Oh,
Yeah,
and
it's we've got a few of them out there, probably more than anywhere else I've seen. I mean, we of course have the McDonald's, Burger King, Wendy's, Whataburger. I don't know if we have actually those in California.
I would do 1990s arcade games. That might have some overlap with watches. But
Okay,
the
go for it.
fast food
1990
establishment, I can't.
No, 1990s arcade games. It's also been suggested, we'll save it for another week, is unusual trousers, jodhpurs, plus fours, bell bottoms. But I'm happy to go for 1990s.
Did you say unusual trousers?
Yes, unusual trousers.
You know that the
wrong
word
trousers.
trouser is something that Americans only see on British television, right? We
Yes,
have
that's because you call everything
no one here has
pants.
ever used that word.
Pants is what you wear underneath your trousers. That's pants.
Pants is where
Underwear.
what underneath?
Underneath. That's your
So
boxers.
you don't
that's your
have short pants. Short pants is not a thing for you because pants are already
No.
short.
They're just called shorts. It's the UK. We don't need to add descriptors. We don't need to call it horseback riding. We can just call it horse riding because there's nowhere else on the horse to ride it.
Speak
We
for
don't need to
yourself.
add additional
So-
words to describe things.
What do you call you call pants that underwear?
Pants. We just call them pants. They're just called pants, and trousers are called trousers. And if you want to wear shorts, you just wear shorts. If
You know what I
want-
like? Both of them are plural for no reason.
So if you were searching for
The
like
short.
sport or like outdoor specific long coverings for your legs, you'd be looking for like
Bermuda shorts.
no long coverings. They'd be trousers,
Oh,
like snow
trousers.
snow trousers. I need like paintball trousers, like
I
it'd be
just need
trousers.
trousers. I need a pair of trousers. Now you might describe chinos, kind of dressy trousers, or jeans.
What
kind
about
of denim
overalls?
trousers.
Where do you guys fall on those?
As an owner of a number of sets of overalls, I would just go and buy a set of overalls.
But
I
you
would
call them
neither be a-
overalls.
Yes,
Why you have? Of
Because they
course, it
go
goes
overall.
overall. Yeah, it goes.
Do you have
overall.
Yeah.
underalls? Is that pants? to
that's
you?
your pants.
I see.
Do you do,
I'm
how do you
only somewhat
differentiate
confused.
between long and short pants? Like for long pants, when you go
we
like
use this. You know how we determine between long and short pants? We use the word long and we use the word short in front of the word pants.
so if I said to you, I'm gonna go change into some long pants before dinner, you would assume I'm putting on like thermal underwear.
I think you're coming down in your birthday suit with some Y fronts on. I'm leaving that dinner party, is what I'm doing. I'm leaving. I'm getting my jacket and going. before
So
you
when I say
expose yourself.
I spilled spaghetti sauce on my pants, I've ruined my pants. You're just going like he's
Your
eating,
tighty
he's
whities
eating. It
are
just,
ruined. He's sitting there with a bottle of Buckfast, circa whatever watch brand we associated with that, with spaghetti down his undercrackers. Yes. Anyway, this show has taken without even David's assistance a bad turn. Let's bring it back to some watches, please, Lord. Let's bring it back to some watches. We will. I can't actually find.
You know
all
what
the
happened?
wa-
It was
the
bringing up
watches.
fast food. It's always a
Fast
bad
food.
idea.
Oh yeah. Well, no, we're going arcade games. Give me your 3 arcade games, Ariel. 3 arcade games.
Oh, God, I just went to an arcade, so it's all on my mind. I don't remember when they all came out. We got to do Mortal Kombat. That's got to be
Okay,
one.
Mortal Kombat. Okay.
I'm trying. So specifically 90s. Geez.
Just
I
boomer
go-
ones.
I mean, there's Street Fighter 2. Everyone knows that one, but there's only 8,000 versions of it. I think they actually eventually made Street Fighter 3 through 6 or whatever.
Okay.
I'm not going to go all of them. Ripley, come on. There's got to be someone.
Pac-Man.
No, that's
Defender?
80s.
Okay.
Also not 90s.
It's being questioned that we're actually now the Wrong Trousers Watch Show, which I think will probably be the title of this episode, The Wrong Trousers.
Well, let's not piss off Wallace and Gromit.
DDR, Deep Sea Hunter. What's DDR?
Dance
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 Revolution.
Revolution.
Okay, DDR it is then. So DDR, Mortal Kombat, and Street Fighter. Two some.
There
quite
was just no.
similar.
I wanted to mention a racing game, but there was no like one
Frogger,
definitive.
Sega Rally is being mentioned. Sega Rally.
Also
in the
not
chat.
90s.
When did
Actually,
Mario-
some of them did.
Oh, that's not an
Frogger?
arcade game.
It
Okay, come
eventually
on,
became
chat.
an arcade game.
We're relying on you, chat, and 90s car racing game in arcades. What there was the original.
There was a
ones, but I
lot.
can't
I
remember
just
what
don't
they're
remember
called.
like
There's a lot.
the
One of them will
one.
be called F1. We'll find out and we'll find out for the chat next time. Okay, let's do some actual watches. Let's do some. Hit
Oh,
and
that's
Miss
still a thing?
Maybe. That's still a thing. Doing
Oh.
watches.
We
Let's do some Hit
didn't
and Miss Maybe.
permanently pivot to pants. Sorry, trousers.
Pants and hot sauce. That's
Trousers
what it
and
is
hot
from now on.
sauce.
If anyone would like to write us a theme
Every
tune
week,
for
just trousers
Outrun,
and hot
there
sauce.
we go. Outrun is being suggested as the that was 90s, wasn't it? Outrun.
That might have been 80s, but I know.
So when I
remember
say I've got to
Outrun.
go get my pants tailored, you're just thinking I'm there at the tailor's having them like adjust some boxers.
Ridge Racer. There's another one being suggested.
Okay.
Right, okay. Thank you, chat. We will make a show out of that somehow because we can make out a show of very little on this particular podcast. Right, before we go any further, Ariel, what's on the wrist? Where are you? What you doing?
I'm in Los Angeles. I actually happen to be wearing a Chrono Swiss. This is the
Oh, very
Opus Chronograph Purple Rain, which
The
is
Cholula of
called
watches.
that. The Cholula of watches. If Cholula was
Uh-huh.
purple, that's sort of
Yeah.
no. There's no purple one.
Okay.
This watch is the purple version of the Opus Chronograph, which is pretty nice.
Cool.
41 millimeter titanium purple.
Is there a
Very
reason it's
nice.
purple?
Yes.
They refuse to share that reason, though. But there is a reason. and it's
Has nothing to do with
because
sunrise.
because it
With
can be.
sunrises.
Because with this process you have blue, they've done that. You have purple, they've also done that. You have sort of an unhealthy looking yellow. I don't know if they want to do that. The
Hmm.
brown does not look great. So purple and blue is basically what you got
yeah, they just
with this
decided that
particular process.
unlike Grand Seiko, they just decided to put in the text, "We just like purple." We
I
just
respect
think
that.
I would respect that. Grand Seiko, just say somebody in the office just decided they liked it and they might sell a few of them. That would be fine. Someone is asking, Chives is asking if you're a goth. In fact, Ariel in the chat wearing a
The
purple
AI is asking if
watch.
I'm a goth. Do I
The
answer?
AI,
The
You
AI?
can answer the AI.
I need my
Uh,
own AI, like an AI pet to answer other AIs.
I
Am
think I
I
could
I'm
build
gonna
you
go with yes. I'm
an Ariel
definitely a
Ariel
goth. Yeah.
AI. Okay, Ripley, what are you
Super
wearing?
goth.
Well, I just took off a G-Shock and put on
Mhm.
an Apple Watch, so it would tell me
Mm.
when you opened the room that we could sit down and record.
All right, okay.
So
So
not
record.
not exciting, but this is what I
Okay.
was wearing.
Cool. Very nice. And what's the hat? That looks like a Brodinky hat.
Yes,
Yeah.
Brodinky.
Is Brodinky still a thing? Is he still going? Or is the algorithm just not presenting me with his
That's a
fun
good question.
and
We can go look this
frolics?
up. We can. I'm sure. I mean, maybe I feel like
Brodinky.
I would have seen
He's not-
something.
Yeah, he's not the hero we want, he's the hero we deserve. Is that the phrase? I don't know. Chives is disputing he is a
Yes,
sentient
he is.
manservant.
20 hours ago, he posted something on his story about it. It looks like Otani and Seiko.
Okay, why don't you take a photograph of you on this podcast wearing the hat and copy it as up? Right, okay. So take a photo. Can you do a screenshot of us recording while you're wearing the hat on your Instagram account and post it to him and see if we get a reply? Maybe a kind of live replies to Instagram. That could be a thing.
This is
while
the
I-
most This can't be the most efficient way to do this. This
Yeah,
is
do
a
this.
terrible way.
Right, okay. Well, while you're worrying about terrible way of doing things, we're gonna go. There we go. We'll all point at it. So if we point at the hat, Ariel, point at the hat. You're on mute, but point at the hat.
Well, no, it all points at
No.
different directions.
Who are
Rick,
we
you're pointing
sending
Oh, does
this
it?
to?
We're sending it to
I don't
Brodinky.
no
know.
one's pointing at it
no,
at this point.
Not working. Not working. Well, I
Looks
think
good
actually
to
we could,
me.
Can I put you on full screen? I could do a layout change, so I think I can put you in the middle. No, that's you on the outside. Oh, no, that's you a little thing in the corner. That doesn't work.
Rick
Never
was
mind.
desperately trying to save the direction of the show, but it was going
Trying
nowhere.
to save that. Yeah, we were going right. Let's talk about this watch for Hit Miss Maybe. Ariel, the Versace V Contempo GMT.
Yeah, people did not love this,
No,
but I love
bet.
the wine colored dial. You know,
Yes.
every good
Tell us
watch
about-
starts with a claret colored dial.
Tell us about Versace and watchmaking. Or is this
Well,
it?
they started Veritime, so they actually
Uh-huh.
started a company to make watches, which then got purchased by Timex, who
Mhm.
still makes watches for them.
Mhm.
And they've had a lot of good stuff. They wanted me to know that Taylor Swift was wearing one of their female watches earlier this week, and boy, did they send a lot of emails about that. No, I think it was just 2 emails. Was not this watch. I just wanted to see how they would interpret a Bell and Ross. That's really what I was
And now
curious
we
about.
know.
Is
Now we know.
you know what do you think bothered me the most on this?
The date window.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know the people at Timex that design watches. They're very good. They're very modern. Like, was Versace like, no, we know it sucks, but do it anyways? And the Timex people are like, no, don't make me. And they're like, you still want this contract? They're like, fine.
You
I-
do what
I-
you're told.
I just don't see why that part of it was necessary. In fact, I don't know why the date was necessary at all, to be honest. That would have been great to go. I did not dislike this watch. I just found it interesting. The people that get these will like them, but it's easy to make fun of this as a watch lover because you can sort of see where they were coming from. So it's not bad in a vacuum, but if you're a watch enthusiast, it's, it's kind of amusing here. But again, combining Versace and, like, I don't know, sort of pilot style GMT. I mean, you would have been intrigued too, I think. Maybe.
Yeah, it would have been something. I'm getting Doctor Thingy Sphincter removal stuff from earlier. Maybe this is anyway. Let's give it a vote. Is it a hit, a miss, or a maybe? 1, 2, 3, go. I'm giving it a maybe. Ripley is giving it a maybe. 3 maybes. Ripley, why is it a maybe from you?
Well, it's not a hit. But this is compared to some of the other stuff that this brand has put forward in the wristwatch department, this is by no means the most defensive. It kind of looks like one of those like a Bell and Ross mixed with an Octo Finissimo, but there's nothing Finissimo about that. That's a thick looking one. But all things considered, this is, I think, a positive direction for Versace's watches. This isn't bad looking. Yeah, that date window is not it for this watch, but all things considered, there's like no gold. I don't steps like like the usual thing they've got. This seems fine, and I like wine, so wine dial. Why not?
Is there a possibility that Versace could become a watch brand of note, or are they just going to occasionally produce things like this? Do they have ambitions to be a Bulgaria, a fashion house that's also into watches?
I think they could. I don't think they want to. I think that when you're a fashion house, you make a specific decision about where your watches are going to be located in the market. And you know that it's easier to sell more low-priced watches in most instances. It's smarter for them. And these are not cheap. I mean, Versace, their mechanical watches, they go up to, like, I don't know, $3,000 or $4,000. I forgot this one was probably close to 2,000 or something like that.
2 something, I think.
Yeah, so
scroll down the article will tell us.
But they're still significantly cheaper, 2,150. So they're still significantly cheaper than, I guess you could say, a lot of the the more popular Swiss made brands. So they're trying to look legitimate, but also undercut. And this used to be the way that most accessories were at watch brands. Their sunglasses, fashion brands, their sunglasses, their watches were priced lower than the clothing and things like that. This is, I don't know. I think it's a little bit more complicated, the positioning, but I think that they're happy at this price level. I don't think that they would go higher. I think they're looking to sell a large volume. And my understanding is they actually do sell a pretty healthy volume of watches. So I
Hmm.
think that it'd actually be much more difficult for them to sell watches at a higher price point.
Rick, scroll back up. What was that
Yeah,
colossal?
I know. I'm now,
blessing?
for those of you watching on video, and I suggest you do, I'm now on the Versace Watches website. The Versace Real
How did they
Active
spell
Chrono
millennium
Watch.
there?
Where am I looking? A millennium with a Y. As in, why have we made this watch? Boy, some of these are honking.
Millennium.
Millennium. Yeah, this is. Yeah, okay. I take back any suggestion that I thought Versace could be trying to become a serious watch brand. This is
What
like
do you mean?
Invicta. This is like Invicta for people with even less taste and even more money.
As I said, this is
17
a sign
more
of good
these.
health for the brand. This is better than
This
a
is
lot of their other stuff
horrible.
I've seen from them recently. This
Yeah, okay,
is,
so yeah,
yeah,
this is
this
a
is
horror.
I choose the best of the Versaces for you guys. You
Yeah,
know
that's
that.
true. That's true. That's true. Yes, you did. What is that? The Greca Time GMT watch.
That's
Good
pretty
grief.
straightforward. That'll be a good watch for you on the farm. A little quartz GMT
think- I
action
think-
going on.
Yeah, I think a $1,300 gold-plated GMT Versace watch is just the vibe for tractor driving. Anyway, there we go.
Well,
So
I still wear. They have a black ceramic. I think they also make an in blue ceramic watch that's sort of the competitor of the Chanel J12.
Is
I
that
I
not
wear
this,
that thing.
the
I like it.
V-Dome?
No, that's
this.
I don't think that's ceramic. Maybe it is. Actually, check to see that material, but it's not that
size
watch.
of
It's called like the
print.
one. The one
Current
man.
timepiece.
One man.
Aluminium. No, this is more a Bulgari type competitor.
What is a
Versa-
V dome? Is anything there domed at all?
Uh,
no, I
let's-
just think of
let's not ask
Vendome,
questions.
like the
Which is in a different
Richemont.
city.
Vivon Dome. Hey, it's all Panerai at the end. It's Panerai all the way down.
Is the ceramic one
Uh,
even there? It's got to be there somewhere.
I don't see anything that looks ceramic. I have to say, everything looks.
I look. I have a soft spot for this brand. I'm not going to convince anyone that they need to love them
No,
if
you're
they
not.
don't. I don't like all their stuff, but it's just exciting to me how much they do what they want to do. I like them, and again, same people that make it, like Philip Plein. Again, same people that design Philip Plein, same people that make it. We like the weirdness. If it was several times as much money, we wouldn't talk about it at all. But it's at the price point that, like, I guess regular people could have, and I feel like I want to. As much as we make fun of some of those, I want to see more of those on people's wrists. I'd rather see that than a lot of other stuff.
Okay, well, here's some other stuff for our next hit miss, maybe. The David Candlew DC12 Maverick with a capital K. Well, I think that should just be an instant red card, is putting capital letters in random places. But it's certainly a different watch. Ariel, this looks like your wrist, so this looks like a hands-on. Yes, it is a hands-on with the David Candlew DC12 Maverick watch. Why has it got a capital K?
Yeah, that part I don't know. And I had David at my house. I actually shot this watch at my home.
All right, okay.
And we
couldn't
didn't
tell
get
you
that
either.
part of the conversation.
All right,
I
okay.
like this watch very,
Yeah, that's
very
cool.
much. So the DC12 has a new movement, and it's a double balance wheel system with a differential. This is less expensive than a Tourbillon, but ultimately more accurate for wristwatch wearing. You have two balance wheels with a new system that he created as a shock absorber, and they sort of average each other out. Manually wound, just the time. But what I like about it is that it sort of looks like a Tourbillon, but it's not a Tourbillon because as it's exposed, subsidiary seconds at 12 o'clock. Interesting case. He has this crown, which you can call it a lot of funny things. To him, he was inspired by, like a pen where like you click in, click out. That was his inspiration for that. He calls it the magic crown, which I think is amusing. But this watch is, I think it's really, really lovely. 98,000 Swiss francs is the price. So that's like a new quote unquote low entry level for him. but
Mm.
everything is meant to go together. The case, the dial, the movement, it's all sort of unique. It's all new stuff. It's also very lightweight and relatively comfortable on the wrist, right? It's actually very comfortable and it's pretty diminutive. So I like this watch very, very much. It's not to everyone's taste, but if you're into independent watchmaking and want everything from a novel movement to a novel design, that is very much sort of Swiss in its technique and how it's made and all that, even though it looks differently, this is cool. This is, just sort of a special watch.
Mm, mm. Okay, let's give it a hit to miss, or maybe 1, 2, 3. Trying to find his hit sign. Go. Hit. Is the case articulated, Ariel? I was trying to tell.
No, it doesn't need to be.
No, it is a solid case. It just with the way that the lugs are, as if it was a bit, kind of pivoted round the middle to make it more comfortable.
It's not that big of a case. It looks bigger than it is
Okay.
in pictures. It's not that big.
Mhm.
You can see on my wrist, like it wears well.
Yep, in the chat looks a bit MBM, MB and F-ish. Yes, I suppose it does. Ripley, why
Does
is it
it?
hit for you? Yeah, I think it's just an unusual shape. Maybe it looks like one of those. It has a kind of, the MB and F ones with the globe sticking out the side. I know that this is smooth, but no, I think it gives that kind of vibe. Maybe it's just a blue strap.
I don't see it, but okay.
Okay, fair enough. Ripley, hit pourquoi?
I mean, like Ariel said, does a lot of things well, and it's just different. I like that it's this different, and they didn't just completely water it down to be their like quote unquote entry level model. I mean, with this price, it's kind of hard to call it entry level, but with respect to their catalog, it's nice that it still seems like a very cohesive product. It's not you don't feel like this is just kind of an off the shelf thing that they're doing to fill a SKU for a lower end offering within their lineup. It feels like a very cohesive, well considered product, very different, unique case shape, all kind of goes well. I like that weird crown. It kind of reminds me of that one on that like $50,000 Omega Aquaterra where it comes out on the side. But on that one, it was because sprinters are going to wear it and we don't want it digging into their hand. We'll just tell the sprinter not to wear the watch. You guys make the timing equipment anyway, like he doesn't need to wear one. It makes a lot more sense because it's for the purposes of preserving this profile. There's a reason for it to be there rather than innovation to justify the price tag. So I think it's cool. I think it's quite nice. I kind of like that they're doing something below $100,000 too. That's not something that you could say about that brand up until this point.
Yeah, I also realised that much like Schratzer from earlier on, I've been adding an L to his name. So it's pronounced David Kando. How do you pronounce his name?
Kando? What you added an L? Like
Where did you
calling
put
him
the
Candle?
I think I've been adding Candelo for forever. I'm not sure why, so apologies. Is he David or David?
He didn't correct me when I called him David, but
okay. But it's David Kando or Candox.
I think he's more
There's
he's
no
gonna be
L.
more annoyed at the Candelo or Candle.
Candles. David
Mr. Candle.
Candles. Dave Candles. There we go. Oh, Davy boys. Well, I love it. I think it's a great watch. So maybe you'll forgive me if I say that his watch is very nice. It kind of has the vibe that there's going to be. I don't know if it's his particular vibe, but this feels like there could be a diamond, a slightly more diamond encrusted version of this.
You want more jewelry? Okay, gold. So white gold with diamonds.
Yeah, I feel this might respond well to some white gold and diamonds. Within I don't know what you would call it. It's a kind of like a racetrack, like a velodrome. Velodrome? Yes, that word sounds wrong. Where you race bicycles.
Because the side is banked, and you think that
because the bank track right the side. That just feels like it would lend itself to some diamonds. But no, it's a very nice watch indeed.
I mean, his accountant loves you right now. Yes, more precious materials. We
you
like.
can add as many L's to my name as you like. It turns out. So there we go. Right, let's find a watch to finish on this week. Ooh, we have some choices. What shall we choose? We've already spoken about the Tudor. We've spoken about the Doxa. I think we will go to something more. No, let's go to this. It's gone. The Timex.
Oh, good.
Yeah. If I can find the article, it has vanished for a brief moment. But Ariel, this was your article on a Timex Atelier watch, which I'm still trying to find the article. It's on page 2. There we go. Hands-on debut, Swiss-made Timex Atelier Marine M1.
I don't know if we lost Rick. Oh, there he
Oh,
is.
no, I am here. I seem to be take over screen share. There seems to be something going a bit skew with the screen sharing. There we go. There we have it. The hands-on debut Swiss-made Timex Atelier Marine. Is this a new vibe from Timex?
Yeah, so this Timex Atelier is going to be a whole new sub collection, and within Timex Atelier are going to be where their Swiss-made watches are going to be. They're not all going to have the same movement. I already know what the watch coming out after this is. It's similar. It's a slight variation on this. And it's unclear exactly how many watches will come out, what the production is going to be. This is the evolution of the Giorgio Galli collection. So Giorgio Galli is the designer who works at Timex. He does a lot. He runs the whole license program. So all the stuff for Ferragamo, Versace, Philipp Plein. He oversees all that. And he had the Giorgio Galli watches. They made a few of them. There was the S1 and the S2 and some various sub versions of each. And the last version of the Giorgio Galli S2 had a titanium case and bracelet that was very similar to this case and bracelet. This is steel. It's half the price of the Galli that was in titanium. And what's cool about the bracelet is you can like literally with your fingers pull apart the links, pivot the outer one, and then remove the link. So you can adjust the bracelet without any tools of any kind. It works honestly pretty well. I don't know, if that's something they'll be able to mass make or anything like that. The overall profile of this watch to me is definitely the mold of the Rolex Submariner. It's 41 millimeters, but the actual watch that it reminded me most, not necessarily from a pure visual style, but from a personality style, because they both sort of were a take on the Submariner, was the original Bremont Supermarine.
I was
which
going
I
50
loved.
fathoms. Right, okay.
No, the original Bremont Supermarine
Okay.
has, again, it does not look exactly the same, though the coloring is very similar. But for me, it is trying to take what was popular with the Submariner and do their own take on it and make it very elegant. That was the thing. The original Supermarine, not the most recent Supermarine, but the original Supermarine. I think it was called the later called the S300. So this one, this was a really great watch overall. It's comfortable. It looks good. They claim to have an enamel dial. It is a very nice deep black dial. Domed black ceramic rotating bezel. Really good lume. The lume is very even, very good. The only part of this watch, which is, I guess, the thing that people have talked about the most, is the movement. And it's a movement by a company called Catena. Look, it's basically a mostly Chinese parts, technically Swiss made. There are others like that. It's a budget movement. It's supposed to operate okay, but it's not a glorious movement. And a lot of people are like, why didn't you just put like, a Salida or something in there? Why the Catena? I don't know the answer to that. It's got not a huge amount of power reserve. I'd say it's about 36 hours of power reserve, which is probably the weakest part of it. I think it's going to be okay for most people. Timex can obviously improve that later. This watch on the strap is under $1,000. On a bracelet, it's I think $1,050. It's really a good value given what you're getting. if you just don't see Timex as being a luxury brand, that's fine. What I think Timex is doing, who this watch is for, is today's entry-level enthusiasts who want to get a lot of bang for their buck. And this is what I call a Reddit darling. Reddit will just sort of really like something like this. It won't be for everyone, but if you're just getting into watches and you want to sort of have that, I guess, pseudo Rolex, Submariner experience, but with a sort of different personality, this is a good option. And this is, low enough priced, good, well enough spec to very much compete with the Seikos of the world, very much compete with whatever is being offered by the Swatch Group at, Hamilton and Tissot and Certina and like that. So I thought this is overall strong. This is not for everyone. And I hope I explained what Timex Atelier is.
Cool. So is it a hit? Is it a miss? Is it a maybe? 1, 2, 3, go. Hit. And maybe from Ripley.
But then upside down, maybe.
Upside down, maybe.
A maybe.
I like a lot about it. I would just need to see it in person. I like that Timex is doing this. I think it's sort of important for them to stretch their legs a little bit from the price point perspective and not just sequester themselves to an absolute bottom dollar brand, because they can and they have the resources to do more interesting stuff. I think this is a really interesting bracelet. I want to play with the mechanism to see how secure that is or what's actually holding the links together. But I like that they've sculpted out the sides. It just looks a little bit different than your standard like flat 3-link oyster style. I like how they've checked a lot of similar boxes. Bezel with the domed black bezels kind of reminds me of a Blancpain. A lot reminds me of a Sub. Other bits and pieces you could kind of pull from other vintage divers, but it's not. It doesn't look like any one specific one. I think where again it would really just come down to the movement's not great. Sure, that's I think everyone would rather have a Sellita. This could have this could have that could be related to him to their plans for bespoke movements or something like that. So I'm not going to really put too much weight on that. I really would want to see some of these in the metal, though. I like a lot about it. There's clearly a lot going on with the case lines, but at that price point, you're kind of coming into a lot of pretty decent watches. If you took $1,000 thereabouts and went to Seiko, you're looking at a lot of those like 62 ish ones. You could probably get one on a bracelet for roughly the same price, and that's a really great watch. If you wanted less money for a Seiko at half the money, you can have like the turtles and stuff. So I think that's, for me, it would really just come down to how it hits in the metal, but I like everything else about it. I like that even Timex is going this route with an expensive product. It just, that is now becoming a really, really competitive price point. All the micros, but then you have those big names like Citizen and Seiko sitting there that really, really kill it at that $1,000 price point or less.
Yeah, I'll be interested to see if it gets the vibe to sell at that price point, but certainly a good looking watch. And yeah, decent bang for the buck, I believe. So that is us for this week. Thank you all very much for joining in, especially those who have chosen to join in live on the chat. You will be able to, if you go to their Blog to Watch Weekly live YouTube channel, be able to see some of the preamble that doesn't make the main show and some of the post-match that also doesn't make the main edit. So we will maybe see you there, or we will see you again in a week or so's time. But from the main show, goodbye. Bye-bye.
Goodbye from the main show.
See you at the after party.
After party starts now. Goodbye.
I think about this every time I watch Real Time with Bill Maher, because he does the same thing, and he's like, go to YouTube to see Overtime, and then I can't help but think about Alon, who we love, who just decided to take the Real Time name, even though it's an established show on HBO, and I'm sure someone will take the Overtime one. But unfortunately, Bill Maher is not into watches, so he might not care.
All right, okay.
Maybe he is. I don't know.
So from now on, we just call this the Overtime on the Blog to Watch Weekly show. Is that what we're saying?
No, that's no.
No.
I have an interesting watch I'm reviewing. I don't even know if it's out yet. It's the no, I think it's out already. Maybe actually I'm gonna go to their website. It's a Movado, and I have to go to their website. I don't want to accidentally break the old embargo there.
We are not Revolution.
It's not on their website. So I'll talk about this other Movado. Imperiale. There was actually, I don't know who did the first Imperiale. There was the show part Imperiale, which I think was a women's watch, which was like the first ladies' watch. Was like, I would wear that. The bigger ones. Now Movado has their Imperiale, which is it's okay. So it's a full, they got markers, the whole deal, but there's the sort of large sun there. I like it. I dig it. Ripley, I'll have to show you these watches, but if you go to the Movado website, you see a lot of the stuff they have. It's a lot of automatics. They have Julianne Moore now, who was there. Who was she with before? Was it Chopard? I feel like it was Chopard. Maybe a lot of Chopard inspiration at Movado these days. But I think they're well. They got Ludacris. Did you know that Ludacris is now a Movado ambassador?
I guess it's been a long time since the peak of Get Back and Fast and the Furious. So yeah, maybe he needs that ambassadorship fee.
I love to be working with them because they were nowhere for the longest time, and all of a sudden it's like, oh, Movado. Yeah, there it is. That's the Imperiale in its full glory. It's a mainstream watch in the sense that it's not going to immediately tick the box for enthusiasts, but it's an automatic. It's really nicely done. They have a men's and women's version. I've always liked this stuff. I think this is
they've got Jessica Alba on the roster. Okay, cool. I'm in. Yeah, let's go Movado.
We're all about Movado now. That's a weird lineup of celebrities, is it not?
No weirder than any other lineup.
Yeah, like any brand.
But it's Movado.
You see random people at Breitling? Damn.
But it's Breitling. These people aren't wearing Movado watches. You can at least
they are in the pictures.
In the pictures, you can at least vaguely believe that Rory McIlroy wears Omega in general, golfer, but do I believe that Julianne Moore wears Movado in anything other than this photo? No, I don't. She's got a box full of Cartier.
They support her. Would she not be thrilled about who is paying her for her likeness?
Yeah, if Invicta wants to pay me enough, like I will double risk those all day long. That is just income. I would be very.
There's not enough wrist space for that.
Well, there you go. I can fit about one. There you go. You can wear 3, just like the model in this badly AI generated image. That is some terrible piece of Photoshop work there going on. Yeah. Okay.
What is that? Not how you wear watches? One of each color, please.
If I
look, it's better. It's better than when Tag Heuer had them like fisting the watch. Remember?
Oh, yeah. Was that not Leonardo? Was that Leonardo DiCaprio?
Leo was in those. Yeah.
It was Leo just holding the watch. Did you see
Movado's PRX? Their PRX competitor. They have a PRX competitor.
Nope, I have not seen that. I do not spend any time whatsoever on the Movado website.
Oh, you have to now.
You have to now. Shop all watches.
Is a brand where they were really well respected. If you look back at some vintage Movado stuff, there's some pretty cool
ones. There
was
a time when you were not made fun of for wearing a Movado.
If there was ever a brand that needed to like beat that heritage drum and remind them of
there it is, the 1917. It is out already. That's the square one.
All right, because that's when you've got. Can I talk about it then?
Yeah, it's watch. It's. What's funny? That only 2 sizes are 25 millimeters wide and 35 millimeters wide. They're like no big versions right now.
No, is this the Timex Q copy for 1,500
quid? The Ondo plan.
Yeah.
Look, that's not a bad watch.
The name's pretty bad though.
Yeah.
It's
okay, right. Well,
Ondo plan sounds like a really strict diet that probably involves a lot of leafy greens.
You're only allowed to eat white food. Right. Okay, that's it for us this week. Thank you, everyone, for joining us.
No, Rick, more Movado.
More Movado.
More. There's 250 SKUs. We have to go through every one.
What movements are they using now over there?
In the automatics?
No, just in general. Like, are they Swiss? Are they still
Yeah, this is Salitas.
okay?
Okay. Yeah, good for them. Right.
What do
Well,
you mean?
I-
You sound disappointed. You're like, oh, I want it to be a Katana.
I
Oh,
want it to be a
katana, prestigious
seagull.
katana.
Uh,
No, I think it's sort of
this-
if you
you
like the
can't-
design and
can't
it's using such
possibly
a
chat
known
this
quantity.
much about Movado.
We love it. They
we
have
will
multiple
get
PRX
back there.
competitors. They have like 4 or 5 watches that specifically compete with the PRX with different
Okay,
movements, with different
I-
bezels.
I'm calling a halt to this nonsense because there's been a
I'm
lot
so
of
excited
it.
about this.
Right. Okay.
You're
we'll-
happy
we'll
to
pick
talk
up-
about hot sauce forever, and then as soon as we talk about watches,
Watches.
Movado.
Or
Yeah, I think-
underwear.
Where
Where do you think I was when you were talking about spicy trousers?
You
He
mean
was on the
pants,
Movado
Ariel?
website.
Pants.
Pants, spicy pants.
Yeah, I'm
right,
talking about
okay.
watches. You're like, could you get sriracha out of your pants? Is that launderable?
Thank you, everyone, for listening. We will see you again in a week or so's time.